Okay, let's start. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to round two of our March Madness Homebuyer Playbook series. This is our Sweet 16 round. We are so excited to have y'all here. So first things first, give yourself some credit for showing up today. So put some commotion in the chat for coming here today. You could be anywhere today, but you're here right now, and that lets us know you're ready to make moves. A lot of people say they want to buy a home, but not everyone want to take the time to learn how to do it right. And that's exactly what we're going to show you today. My name is my name is Maura O'Neill Taylor, and me and my colleague Katie Ann Brown with the Century Group of EXP are so excited to present this series to you guys. So last session, we walked y'all through the home buying process, as well as having one of our amazing clients come on and tell y'all her experience in working with us and buying a home. But today, we're going to talk about the real game changer, your money, your buying power, and getting pre-approved. Today, we're going to make sure that when the right house comes along, you're ready to buy. Because let's be honest, without a pre-approval, there's no home. And you're just home shopping. And we're not here to home shop. We're here to buy. We know the home buying process can feel intimidating, especially with financing. But today we're going to show you exactly how to move smart, get pre-approved, and put yourself in the best possible position to buy.
And with putting yourself in the best possible position to buy, you need the right team behind you. When you work with Mara and I, you not only get us, but you get the Synergy Group of eXp Realty. And let me just take a moment to tell you about the Synergy Group of eXp Realty. We are a group of global realtors working specifically in the Maryland, DC, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Florida market. But no matter what state, city, town, neighborhood you have real estate needs in, we will connect you with the right professionals to get you to the closing table. And with working with the Synergy Group, we make the home buying process simple. We connect you with the right professionals, no matter what part of the home buying process you're in, making it smooth and stress-free. We tap into our relationships and our network to make home ownership a reality. And that's why we have made this home buying series. Today, you're going to meet Christina Marati, our mortgage lender. And just like a shooting guard, she's going to help you score big on savings, teaching you about financial literacy, grants, loans, and down payment assistance programs that you can use to purchase your home. Next week, same time, same place, you're going to meet Philip Barrett, our home inspector. And just like a center, he's going to defend you from costly mistakes. He's going to look for hidden issues in the home so that you can make an informed decision and game plan on what your next moves are going to be. And on our last weekend, which is going to be the 29th, you're going to meet Erica Madden, our title professional. And just like a power forward, she's going to protect you from your investment, making sure that there are no legal issues with the home ownership, history, ensuring a smooth closing. And just a reminder, by attending all sessions in our series and working with the team, you will get a free home inspection. And we are offering this because we know that buying a home is such a big investment, and we want to set you up for success. Now, with buying a home, there can be a lot of fears that come with it, and we totally understand. Some of us might be afraid or reluctant in the home buying process because we don't know where to start. And I'm gonna tell you, by being on this webinar, you're already miles away from other people who might be thinking about purchasing a home. You have access to us. You get to talk to us, ask us questions. You get to learn about the process and meet the professionals that you will work with in the home buying process. Some of us might be reluctant because we're waiting for the perfect time, or we don't know when the perfect time to purchase a home is. And what I will say is the perfect time is always when you are ready, because really and truthfully, there is no perfect time. 5 years now we're saying like, oh, I should have bought a home 5 years ago. And 5 years from now, we're gonna say, I should have bought a house now. So what I'm trying to say is that whenever you are ready, and learning from Christina and all the other professionals learning from us, we will set you up for success in the home buying process. Some of us might be afraid of making a mistake, and that is totally understandable. But what I will say is that working with a team like Mara and I and the Synergy Group and all of the professionals that we are connecting you with, we will help you game plan so that you're going through this process stress-free. And the next steps would be booking a consultation with us so that we can game plan your next moves. Some of us might even be concerned about our financial readiness and affordability. And that's why I'm so happy that we have Christina Marati on our call with us today. She's going to share with you what you need to do and your next steps so that you can get pre-approved. She's going to educate you on your affordability so that when we are shopping, as Mara said, you're not just shopping, you're ready to buy. You're in the best position to buy.
So we are so excited today to introduce you to our money lady, Christina Marati, with 12 plus years of experience, multiple five-star reviews, and ranking in the top 1% on her company. We are very confident in her ability to not only get you to the closing table and do what's best as possible to get you there, but to help you save money. And now, Christina Marati, please take the floor.
Thank you, ladies. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining today's call. And as Mara and Katie said, I've been here and in the business for over 12 years now. I have always been in Maryland my entire career. I live in Baltimore City. I have worked in Baltimore City for the past since 2007, really. So I've been in Maryland a long time, and I am basically your person who you want to call to get pre-approved and help walk you through the entire loan process, because getting a loan, especially if you never have applied before, can be very scary. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's make sure I share the right one. I am not on the right one. Am I on the right one, guys? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we can see lending.
Okay. Bear with me. Trying to get my presenter mode up. Okay. Good. Everyone can still see the lending screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so when you get started with your loan pre-approval process, definitely give me a call. I'll help walk you through how to make application, what information is important, and then we'll kind of have a general consultative call to know what's important to you and what you're really looking for prior to applying. But the main thing I want to go over today is getting started and the pre-approval process. So when we look at a loan pre-approval and you turn in your application, the main pillars of your application are your credit, income, and assets. That's really what we're going to be looking at when it comes to helping you qualify. And during the pre-approval process, we're going to be asked to provide financial documents. So those types of documents can depend on your credit, income, and assets, right? Because everyone's credit, income, and assets are different and their financial profile is different. So For example, if you are just working for an employer, you would turn in your most recent 30 days of pay stubs and your W-2s. If you're retired, you would turn in your retirement income, like your Social Security letter or your pension income or your pension income. So those are just kind of some examples of things that you would turn in to me. Now, when we go through the pre-approval process, we're also establishing what type of loan you're going to qualify for, and also maybe what sort of down payment assistance program or grant program you're going to qualify for, which could also kind of preempt me to ask for some additional documents up front that you might not otherwise had to provide elsewhere if you've been pre-approved through the process before, or if this is just your first time going through the process and you're like, oh, I didn't know I need to provide this. So just keep that in mind that we can ask for different things depending on credit, income, and assets. But when you generally get in contact with me, fill out your application, you can pretty much know that I'll be back in touch within 24 hours to let you know the status of your application, to go over any questions, and to go over those credit, income, and assets profile. So that way I can go ahead and translate that to you of what your buying power would be, what your monthly payment would be, what if you needed to bring any cash to closing, what that could be, and then also, how we might be able to manipulate the numbers or maybe pay down some debt to help you qualify for more home. So those are all the types of things that I do on the consultative approach to help you through the pre-approval process. Even if you can't be pre-approved today, let's just say, I will tell you how to get there so that you can be pre-approved, whether it be within the next month, the next 6 months, the next year, and so on, so on, and so on. So now kind of just diving into the types of loans, giving you a very basic understanding of the types of loans. The most typical loans are conventional, FHA, VA, and USDA. When you enter into the home buying process, the most common programs that are used are conventional financing and FHA financing. VA financing is for eligible military members who are active duty or retired and their surviving spouses. And then a USDA program is a more rural housing loan. So like if you're purchasing in a more rural area, not so city or metropolitan area. So most home buyers are kind of around the conventional and the FHA loan bucket. So when you hear these terms, just know that they are available loan programs. What would make one program beneficial over the other is credit score. Credit score kind of differentiates between these two loan programs, or maybe you have a past credit event, like a bankruptcy or a foreclosure, that might fit better in one program or the other. Also, depending on which loan program you take, your interest rate could be different. For example, conventional loans have a higher interest rate than FHA loans, typically speaking. But if your credit profile fits better for a conventional loan, we might put you in a conventional loan, even though you have a higher interest rate. What ends up happening is the overall loan cost to you is actually lower. And a conventional loan buyer also typically has a stronger offer than an FHA loan buyer. So FHA loans are great. They're a great tool to use if you have any past credit history or you have a lower credit score. It can get you in the door right now and help you buy that home. Both programs do offer low down payment options. For first-time home buyers, conventional loans can offer as low as 3% down. If you have purchased or owned a home in the most recent 3 years, you would be able to only do a 5% down payment. But the point being is that you don't need to put down 20% to buy a home today. FHA loans also have a great low down payment of 3.5%. That's their minimum down. And you must have that 3.5% to go into the transaction with. So two great programs there to help you buy a home. And then I also just briefly want to touch on VA and USDA in case you are active military or retired military, or you're looking in a rural area. VA and USDA both feature a no down payment loan option, so you don't need any money down. VA is no money down only if you qualify. So, depending on your past credit history, you might need a down payment in that case. But most times, often than not, it's no money down, and USDA is no money down as well. Okay. Next, I want to touch on down payment assistance because if you are a first-time home buyer, as probably most of the people on this call are, you might need some down payment assistance of options. And we do have down payment assistance programs as well as grant assistance programs and as well as 100% financing options. So I'm going to go over each of those a little in depth on our call today. So first, I want to go over a down payment assistance program called the Maryland Mortgage Program. This is the statewide program to help first-time homebuyers buy, but not only first-time homebuyers, you can be a repeat home buyer as well. However, with this type of financing program, you cannot own a piece of property when you go to buy. Now, that piece of property might not be in Maryland. It could be anywhere in the United States of America. You cannot own another piece of property when you go to buy with Maryland Mortgage Program. The great thing about Maryland Mortgage Program for first-time home buyers is, as you can see in the bright yellow section of your screen, is that there's a number of different loan options available. And I want to say loan because the assistance that you are getting from this program, it is technically a loan, and it's what we call a silent second. So it kind of just hangs out there behind your mortgage, but there's no interest accruing on the money that Maryland Mortgage Program is giving you. And there's also no monthly payments that you have to make. So to me, that's technically free money, right? Because you don't have to make any payments, you're not paying any interest, there's nothing extra. There's no financial extra to it. So the only thing is that whenever you go to refinance, you go to sell, or if you were to get to the end of 30 years of your loan and pay off that loan, you would be liable to pay this money back to Maryland Mortgage Program and the state of Maryland. But it's a great program to take advantage of. I have many clients that do. And when you are a first-time home buyer, you can see the first-time Advantage Direct, you're not getting any sort of down payment assistance available to it. However, they offer a very low, below market interest rate. So if you're someone who already has all of your funds to help with down payment and closing costs, this program could be great for you because you can get a below market interest rate. The 6,000 and the 3% program are kind of a combined program. You either get $6,000 or you get 3% loan. And why you would want to do one over the other is because maybe the 3% is giving you more money than the $6,000 program. And then you have the 4% and the 5% program. So you would choose from one of these programs, and that's the program that we would go with to help you with your down payment and your closing costs. Now, the Home Start program is another great first-time Advantage program as well that falls underneath that bucket category. And that is for a home buyer who fits a certain area median income limit of below 50%. So I didn't mention this when I first started talking about Maryland Mortgage Program, but there are income limits for this program. So when you're applying, again, income is one of the things that I look at as a lender. So when you're applying, I'll look at your income and I'll see, oh, they fit into the Maryland Mortgage Program category. And if you fit below that 50% area median income limit, I can offer you the Home Start program, which actually gives you a 6% loan towards down payment and closing costs. That can cover that will cover all of your down payment and most of your closing costs. So that could be a huge financial incentive for you to take advantage of. Maryland Mortgage Program, when it comes to income limits, it is depending on county, as well as how many people you have in your household. And it can depend on if you are buying in what's called a targeted area or not. So don't worry, don't get too bogged down with that. Let me do that for you and make sure that you qualify for the program. Now, just to kind of go over to the flex side, if you are a repeat home buyer, you can still qualify for assistance. Again, you cannot own any property when you are applying for Maryland Mortgage Program. But as you can see, you can get either that great low interest rate, a $6,000 down payment assistance, or a 3% loan with the Maryland Mortgage Program. It's a great program. I have a lot of home buyers take advantage of it, and a lot of people buy through the Maryland Mortgage Program. We are a gold tier lender in their program. So we do a lot of these types of loans and have connections with Maryland Mortgage Program to get you seamlessly and easy through the loan process. Next, I'm going to dive into some grants. Everyone always has questions about grants, and in Baltimore City, we have a lot of different grant programs. I'm just going to cover 5 of the most popular today because there are some additional grants that I can let you know about if you qualify. The one thing about qualifying for grants is that they can be location specific, income specific, and you must be a first-time home buyer. You cannot own any other property at all when you apply for a grant. So one of the grant programs eligible in the Live Baltimore network is the First-Time Homebuyers Incentive. And as you can see, it's a $10,000 grant. This program, let me back up. One thing I should also mention about grants is that funds can run out. They're not always guaranteed. So it's very important that when you are relying on grant money to help you buy, that we have a very close and communicative relationship to make sure that those funds are available when you actually go to write an offer with Katie and Mara. So it's very important that we stay in contact throughout the whole process to make sure that these grants are available when you go to buy. So going back to First-Time Homebuyers Incentive Program, this is a great program. It's a $10,000 incentive. It does have income limits, and you must do a specific home inspection when it comes to this type of program. The Buying into Baltimore program is also known as what's called the Trolley Tour. It's a $5,000 incentive, and you need to attend a specific seminar, webinar, trolley tour is what they call it, to be able to apply for these funds. You are entered into what's called a lottery, and they draw your name out to see if you are going to be able to take advantage of those funds. So that's $5,000, and I wanted to make a note on here that the next tour date is May 3rd. And it's important that you know that the next tour date is May 3rd because you must register for this event before you attend, and you also must take homebuyer education for when you go to attend as well. Homebuyer education, you must take homebuyer education for every single one of the Baltimore City grant programs, and you must take it through a Baltimore City approved housing counseling agency. If you don't know what the counseling agencies are, that's where I come into play as well. I can help you. I can let you know what counseling agencies to go to and who to contact so you can get signed up with that counseling agency, take the homebuyer education, and you also must take something called a one-on-one counseling session to be eligible for all of the grants that you see on the screen here. But with the trolley tour, you also must attend their tour and enter into their lottery to be eligible for those funds. Next, we have the Baltimore City Employees Homeownership Program. This is up to a $10,000 grant, and I have a little asterisk right there because not only do you need to be a Baltimore City employee to qualify or be a part of one of their quasi agencies, but you must, in order to get the full $10,000 grant, you must purchase in one of the 205 neighborhoods of Baltimore City. Now, I say 205 because there's about a couple other neighborhoods that are left outside of this Baltimore City employee network that you would not get the $10,000 for, but you could still get $5,000 for. So you would still get some grant money. The point is that in Baltimore City, if you're a Baltimore City employee, you can take advantage of this program and at least get some sort of money. But most neighborhoods are going to qualify for that $10,000. And then we also have Live Near You Work. So Live Near You Work, your employer has to participate in it. So you might want to, if you are working right now, you might want to contact your employer if you're interested in the home buying process and see if they participate in the Live Near You Work program. If you work for Johns Hopkins, for example, Johns Hopkins can offer you up to about $17,000 or so towards you purchasing a home, depending on what neighborhood you work in. Most employers who participate in Live Near You Work usually offer anywhere between $2,500 and $5,000, but there are other employers who participate in Live Near You Work that do offer more than that. The best part is that not only do you get the funds that your employer is going to give you to live and purchase in Baltimore City and help you purchase that home, but Baltimore City is also going to match an additional $2,500 of whatever your employer is giving you. So if your employer is giving you 2,000, for example, they'll match the 2,000. If your employer is giving you $5,000, they'll match up to the 2,500. So another great program to take advantage. And then lastly on the screen, I have Buy Back the Block. This program was just recently funded. However, the caveat to this program and the way you can get up to the 15,000 is that you must have lived in a grant eligible Baltimore City area for at least the most recent 12 months prior to entering into a purchase agreement. So what does that mean? That means that if you are currently renting a home in Baltimore City and it's in an eligible area for this program and you want to buy a home in the same neighborhood or maybe a different neighborhood that is eligible for this grant, you can go ahead and do so and get that $15,000 grant. So another really great program to take advantage of there as well. Again, there are additional programs that are available through Live Baltimore, the Live Baltimore network. I just wanted to kind of cover those because those are the most used. And again, you need to attend homebuyer education and get linked up with me as soon as possible to go ahead and start taking advantage of. They can be layered in together. So if you are a Baltimore City employee and purchasing a home for the first time and you qualify for the income limits, you can layer the Baltimore City Employees Homeownership Program of $10,000 plus the first time homebuyers incentive program of $10,000. And maybe you also want to the trolley tour. You can get that $25,000 to help you purchase a home. But again, I just want to stress on the fact that this takes a lot of planning for us to do together. And this is why it's so important that if you are considering buying a home this year or even next year, to get in contact with Katie, Mara, and I as soon as possible so we can start educating you on the home buying process and how to take advantage of these programs. Now, maybe you don't qualify, maybe you already own real estate, right? Maybe you are already, maybe your income is too high for these programs, okay? Maybe you don't qualify for them. We have other 100% financing options here at Primary Residential Mortgage to help you buy. And these are three of our programs that we do have. So I'm just going to kind of go over them so you are aware that we do have other options to help you buy just in case you can't take advantage of those grants or even the Maryland Mortgage Program. There's some people who don't qualify for those. So if you are looking to buy, we can help you with 100% financing options. First is our Empower FHA program. And the three programs that you see on your screen here are all with an FHA loan. The Empower FHA loan program has no first-time homebuyer restrictions, and also you can own a home while you are using the Empower FHA loan program. I have a client right now. She's a professor at Morgan State University, and she already owns a home in Florida. And she's like, I can't put any down payment down. I need help with my down payment. I'm like, great, I have an option for you. I can help you with 100% financing using the Empower FHA loan program. So a great tool to use there. And another good thing about all of these programs is that you don't need a high credit score to take advantage of 100% financing. The programs accept credit scores as low as a 600 for you to take advantage of them. Now, as you can see with Empower FHA, it is a repayable mortgage. It is a second mortgage, and you do have to make principal and interest payments on it over a 10-year term. But the point is that it's an option that you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. There's no income restrictions, and you can own property and still get 100% financing, which is not really out there right now. It's a very great program. Next program is our Chenoa FHA fund, no down payment. program as well. No homebuyer education required, no first-time homebuyer restrictions, no homebuyer education for this program. This program does offer two repayment options or two down payment assistance options. You can either repay it over a 10-year period as well, or it's forgivable after 3 years. So that's also cool. You can purchase there. And then lastly, we have our Essex program. It's also 100% financing, no minimum credit score, no first-time homebuyer requirement. And the neat thing about this program is that there's a higher income limit available to it. But mostly, we're probably going to be looking towards Empower or the Chenoa Fund to help you buy. We also have some other programs to help you buy as well here at Primary Residential. But I just kind of wanted to go over that, hey, we have all these different options available to you. So down payment assistance through Maryland Mortgage Program. Grant money is available through Live Baltimore when you're purchasing in Baltimore City. And then if you don't qualify for either of those two, we also have 100% financing options available. So if you need any assistance, please give me a call. I'd be happy to help you walk you through your home buying process, get you started, and be a part of your home buying team with Katie and Mara. Oh, and I'm going to stop my share. Any questions at all, or are we going to go over questions later?
Now, now is the time for questions, and we have quite a few questions in the chat from when you were speaking.
Okay, great.
But while we are answering questions, we do have our QR code up so that you can schedule your consultation with Mara and I. So you can go ahead and screenshot or take a picture of the QR code and schedule your consultation right now. I'll go over some of the questions, well,
Sure.
all of the questions that I see in the chat. So the first question is, you mentioned that some of the funds are unavailable at certain times.
Mhm.
Is there a typical time the funds replenish?
So we typically see funds replenish either at the start of the year or the middle of the year. Maryland, the fiscal year runs from July of this year until June of the next year. So we'll probably, any funds that run out right now, we'll probably start to see those funds replenish in July or August.
Okay, thank you. Next, is there a list of homes that are specifically USDA qualified, or is that something we would have to check as we search for the homes?
That is something you would want to check as you search for the homes. There's not a specific list. The best example I can give you guys is out in Carroll County. Carroll County is a very rural area, right? It's a very rural county. But when you head into, like, for example, the town of Westminster, that specific town is a lot of it is not eligible when you purchase right in town. Even though it's very rural there, it's just not eligible and not on the list. So I always encourage that if you are going through a USDA loan, check in with me for each property, so that way we can make sure that it's USDA eligible for you.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
The other question is, you mentioned that you cannot own any property for some of the grants and programs that you mentioned. Does LLC ownership, does that qualify as personal ownership?
That is a great question. I'm going to write that one down. I
Okay.
know a lot, but sometimes I don't know all. So I will write that down. Typically speaking, I would have to say no. But let me just get back to everyone on that.
Okay, okay, and then
That question, that if it ties back to you, it is considered, because I already tried to visit that. But you can check to verify
okay,
Yeah,
with the LLC. If the home is part of the LLC and it can be drawn back to the owner, yes, it's considered ownership.
okay,
so it's, sometimes, yes, that is correct. But it depends on the loan program. and how the lender views it based off of that loan program. So yes, that is correct in some circumstances, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Christina. And the last one that I see right now is, will you go through the different scenarios before we make a decision? So I'm assuming that they mean like, on a previous slide, you had the different Maryland loan program, like the 3% to 4%. So, and please, if I'm, not conveying your question correctly, please clarify. But I'm assuming they mean like, will you go through the different like, if you choose this, this is what it will look like. If you choose this, this is what it will look like.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely something that we go through. I kind of try and definitely narrow it down for the client. When it's your first time purchasing, all of this stuff can be very overwhelming. So specifically when it comes to Maryland Mortgage Program, I will let you know like, hey, at 3% loan program, you can get this interest rate. At 5% loan program, you can get this interest rate. And the thing is, guys, about Maryland Mortgage Program sets their own interest rates, and depending on what assistance amount you take, your interest rate can change. It usually goes up in a sliding scale, right? So, the more assistance you take, the higher the interest rate is. So let me give you some perspective on that when it comes to interest rates. I just quoted someone for this actually. At the 4% program, the interest rate for conventional loan was 7.125 just this week. Okay. If that person wanted the 5% program, their interest rate on that conventional loan would be 7.25. So it typically goes up by 0.125 depending on the amount of assistance you take. And if you're like, oh my God, I cannot believe that there's a 7 in front of that interest rate number, I would just let you know that, like that is kind of like the current state of the market right now. We are seeing high 6s to low to mid 7s. So just kind of know that. And a lot of people have fear around interest rates right now, but kind of going back to what Katie and Mara said, if you are scared to buy over interest rates, you shouldn't make the determination of when to buy over interest rate. You should make the determination of when it is right for you to buy. Because let's put it this way, if you did not buy today and the interest rates are let's just say 7%, and in 2 years from now, interest rates are 10, 12%, you're going to wish you bought today. And if they aren't 10 or 12% in 2 or 3 years from now, and let's say they're 5%, well, guess what? You're already in your home and you can go through what's called the refinancing process and still take advantage of those lower interest rates at that point in time. So that's why when it comes to interest rates, the right time to buy is when it's right for you, not trying to play the game of what the interest rates are.
Yes. Yes, and that is something that I say all the time. Are there any more questions?
I have a question. With the prime lender, your company, Christina, with the 100% financing for previous home buyers, can you still use grant money with that too?
I don't think so, to be honest, but I can check into that for you, Thalima. Remember, the grant money that I talked about is only Baltimore City specific.
Do we have any other questions?
And
Well,
and sorry, just for the grants as well. The grants again, we can't own. You have to be a first-time home buyer for them, unfortunately.
Thank you, Christina. If you would like a neighborhood report on your favorite neighborhood, write your name, your email address, and the city with the state in the chat, and we will send you a neighborhood report. And in a part of the neighborhood report, there's a lot of information on the neighborhood, like average price. It even talks about like the walkability score. It talks about the school scores. It even talks about like gender ratios and AARP. It has a lot of information in the neighborhood reports, and you can look at the details that matter to you in choosing a neighborhood. And this will be helpful because it can help you tailor and narrow down which neighborhoods you are interested in purchasing. I see another question. Do you qualify for these assistance programs with all mortgage types? So FHA, conventional, etc. So I'm guessing it's like, does it matter which loan type you qualify for to get the assistance programs? To qualify for the assistance programs?
Yes, yes. So all of the programs that I kind of went over today, they can't you can't take I can't take the Maryland Mortgage Program and combine it with the Empower FHA program and then also combine that with like the grant. So there's only certain things that can be combined together. Does that help answer the question?
They said yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, unfortunately, if I could combine everything together, I certainly would.
I know you would,
Oh my
Christina.
gosh, it was great.
I know you would.
I got one more question, sorry. The trolley, with the 100% financing, is that something if you was hypothetically went to the trolley and was pulled and you get that 5,000, but you already have 100% financing, do you have to forfeit the grant?
It is possible. Sometimes, like how I just said, sometimes the programs they don't allow us to finance above a certain amount. So grant money is typically what we call forgivable, but it's forgivable over a specified period of time. So when you take on grant money, even though it's free money, there's no loan, there technically is kind of a loan to it because if you sell that property within that specified period of time, you're going to owe part of that grant money back. So for that specific matter, when you're doing 100% financing and then we layer the grant on top of it, now you're financing above that 100% level, right? And a lender would only, I'll have to double check the guidelines on this, but the lender is only going to allow you to go so far above 100%. So it's possible that if you get that grant money from Trolley Tour, that grant money would have to be applied toward just doing a larger down payment as opposed to maybe it going towards closing costs, for example.
Okay.
I have another question. Oh, did I answer your question, Thelema, Miss Thelema?
Yeah, I just wanted to know because I know she already mentioned that you couldn't have grant money with the 100% down payment, but the trolley was like a lottery. I thought maybe I don't know how they factor it when you get it.
Mm. But
So,
also with the trolley, you can't own any other property.
correct, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
And the other question is, can the Chenoa program be combined with other programs? And did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
The Chenoa, I believe, can be combined with other programs, yes, with the grant money. Mhm.
Okay. Our information is on the screen. We cannot wait to talk to you again during our consultation, and we cannot wait to get you to the finish line of homeownership.
And thank you so much, Christina, for your expertise and breaking everything down and answering questions. That was really incredible. Like, it was very informative, and we really appreciate that. And if anybody has, yes, if anybody want to get a personalized financial plan for home buying, please feel free to schedule consultations with Katie, Christina, and I, so that we can tell you your specific goals and your specific needs. Because right now, everything we're talking about now are breakdowns, but everybody's is different. Everybody need will be different. Everybody income will be different. How much everybody approved for will be different. So in order to get a plan personalized to you, you should definitely schedule a consultation so we can help you in this process.
And if you have any other questions, if you think of questions as, you know, throughout the day, the week, you can always text us, call us, email us. We will send you the recording via email. So you can always replay, rewind, and get all the information that you need. We know you found value in this session, and we will see you next week, 10:30, same time, same place. And we hope you guys stay safe and blessed throughout the week.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Enjoy your weekend, everyone.
Enjoy your weekend. Thank you.